I feel more purpose having a community to serve instead of just posting something on Instagram. It's like me, me, me. There's just like more heart, which sustains me and my business and kind of my why. As early as 6 or 7, I was selling in my local farmer's market, just like, silly little clay jewelry that I'd made kind of thing. And so my creative life has been more in the foreground or background of my business entrepreneurial life over the years. And right now it's really taking center stage as my main endeavor and my main source of income. So that's kind of the big picture of where I'm at with it. I used to be an elementary teacher, so I didn't have any creative life. I was very burnt out and exhausted. Even though I loved working with kids and I loved bringing creative projects to kids, I just didn't have any bandwidth for that. And so when I left teaching, I was just really fried. And so I took a year to just kind of stare at the wall and do nothing. And in that time, I just started to make things because that's just my natural state. And then I started to have enough stuff that I wanted to sell it or do something with it. So I started to create a business. It was really just this like grab bag of my creative brain. And my market booth was just total chaos. It was like, what is it that you do? and then my audience kind of helped me refine and hone in on what my main thing was. What went viral were my like tiny little scrap monster creatures. And so I rebranded at the end of March this year and started Oddkin Studio. Once my business kind of took off online, I started creating digital products and patterns and things like that. And then my Mighty Network is the newest edition. People started emailing me and messaging me pictures of all the stuff they were creating inspired by mine. People just being like, I saw your scrap monsters. I loved them so much. I made a bunch with my grandkids. People were just making stuff inspired by my stuff. So after about a month of that going viral and just seeing how much those were resonating with people, I wanted to connect those people to each other because I just felt like there was more to do with its energy that was all coming at me. Originally, I started a Patreon and I was like, no, I want a community, not just a place to share more content. Patreon was limiting in that it didn't have the ability for people to comment on each other's posts. It was kind of more like, I'm the focus. It's Katie, me, look what I'm making. And I don't want to be the focus of it. I'm just a facilitator of other people coming together. And I want to inspire people, bring them here, create a little club, and then get out of the way and let them inspire each other. So that's what my scrap club is. It's actually been wild how global my reach has been. I've got people in there from everywhere. I think I'm attracting a lot of people who want to do crafts with their grandkids, but there's also a lot of people my age. It's mostly women. I think there's one man in there right now. But yeah, it's attracting makers, people who love to upcycle, and people who want to do crafts with their people. When I started it, the idea I had was I want to connect these people to each other, and I want to offer some structured creative prompts for us to all be just in like a craft circle together, essentially. And as far as pricing, I thought about my 2 different audiences and kind of their different desires, because I have the people that want to buy my art, like the collector side of things. And then there's the scrappy people that they're not going to buy my art, but they want to be in my world and they want to connect. I just thought about if I were them, like what would I pay? Probably not more than a cup of coffee, like a fancy cup of coffee, but enough to kind of have a little skin in the game and participation. And I also thought about the value of not just the community, but the digital products that I'm including in there. So like the patterns and PDFs that I sell in my online shop are included in my community. Come for the patterns and stay for the community is kind of one of the ways I was thinking about it. I did do a poll in my Mighty Network and just said like, what's the most valuable to you about the space? And there was a significant portion that were there for the patterns, but then the people that were engaging a lot were saying, we're here for the inspiration, the community, the connection. There's one space called Scrap Club Studio, and that's just the main place where everybody posts. And then there's a second space, like the library, where people can go and get those patterns. That's as structured as it is. And then I'm using the hashtags. And I really like how Mighty Networks has the featured hashtags and that they pop up when someone types a hashtag. It like shows all the kind of official hashtags in this community. And because I have an older audience, that's been an intimidating thing for some people. And so I've created some videos and like hand holding for people to be like, hashtags aren't scary. And also, if you don't want to use them, you don't have to. As much as possible, I've been trying to get out of the way as much as I can, because I really want that to be the feel, is like we're all just hanging out and everybody's friends with each other kind of feeling. And it is working. People are pretty actively engaged with each other's posts. I've had a number of people be like, I don't do online stuff. I don't do communities. I've never signed up for anything like this, but this is the first thing I've ever wanted to participate in. How I've structured it is I have the monthly project / theme. So this month it's monsters, next month it's frog month. So everybody's going to make frogs. And then every Monday I post something that I've called a Monday Spark. Like, what's something in your stash that's some weird trinket that you've been keeping for years that you could incorporate into your monster? And then I do a Wednesday work in progress. People love that. And then I do an end of the week, like, roundup, highlight post. I might layer some more things on over time, but that's where we're starting. Definitely been building the plane as I fly it. It's a fine line between, like, people want a leader that they can lean into and trust, like I've got this container, but I'm also inviting them to have feedback and say like, yeah, I was confused about this, or I don't know, and for me to be like, great, thanks, let's try this. And I think I just have that orientation for being a classroom teacher for a long time. I don't want to teach, and I don't want the focus to be me and what I'm doing. So I was looking for a space that felt like it was about creating community, and I just knew that Mighty did that well. I liked the kind of high ceiling of Mighty Networks. Like, I can build from here. There's a lot of room to grow and expand, but it's going to meet my basic need right away of community building. You know, my stuff went viral. I was like, oh, I can be an artist as a living. This is amazing. But now I have this giant audience. Like 50,000 people want to buy my art. Like, that's a wonderful problem to have. But, you know, I'm not going to break my back sewing stuff. That's not going to be a sustainable business product. For me, it's going to be one piece of it, but the next layer was, oh, I want a community. I want a subscription. I want something where my business isn't relying on new people to come in. I wanted to have some repeat customers or like membership kind of income. So the Mighty Network was a part of another income strategy for me that was going to be more sustaining or a little more reliable. I really love the structure that it brings to my business life and just the way that it gives me a feeling of purpose of like I have a community to serve instead of just posting something on Instagram. It's like me, you know, like great. People want to buy my art. That's important, but I feel more purpose having a community to serve. It's just more satisfying, like more rewarding for me as a human to be able to support actual people instead of just like this large audience that is kind of anonymous. I'm like that person. Like I know what's going on in her life. I know what she made for her grandkids and how they responded to receiving it. And, you know, there's just like more heart and more human connection in there, which sustains me and my business and kind of my why. And I haven't felt that since I left teaching, that sense of like I'm showing up for someone every day. We're just making art together, but we're all committed to resourcefulness, to creativity as a source of joy and not a source of pressure, and creative offerings for the people in our lives. There was something really sweet that happened on Instagram that brought somebody in, which was somebody was posting about how they were going to join when whatever source of income in their life happened. And somebody saw that and reached out to me and wanted to gift this person a membership to my community. And they've been one of our most active members. Like there's just a really generous audience that I've been attracting. And people are just so sweet to each other. There's a real celebration feeling and warmth to building everybody up and whatever they're making. Yeah, that feels really good.